there folks, how are you doing? I hope that I find you all very, very well indeed. This is actually morning, so I hope you're all having a smashing morning so far, wherever in the world you are. Or if you're new, a warm welcome to you also. And if you like what you see, why not subscribe and give the video a wee like just before you leave. So this is the wee slow cooker beef that I done actually yesterday because I was actually planning uploading this yesterday, but I fell asleep as soon as we had tea. I fell asleep and I didn't wake up till 2:30 in the morning. So I didn't get to the supermarket either. Mr. What's for Tea did give me a shake about 8 o'clock and he said, you want to go to the supermarket? And I said, oh, no, I'm too tired. He said, I can go. I said, no, wait till tomorrow and I'll go with you. I mean, he can't be trusted at the supermarket. He always leaves half the things behind that we need. So I'm going to go to the supermarket tonight instead. So I'll get the shopping filmed and I'll pop the shopping haul on at some point tonight. It probably won't be until probably about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. But obviously by the time we go and get back and I edit the footage and stuff, so hopefully you'll pop back for that tonight if you're still awake by the time I upload it. Yep, so this is the wee slow cooker roast beef, like I said I done yesterday, and it was absolutely delicious. My electric knife's actually broken, so it turned out a bit thicker than I would normally have it, but yeah, delicious nonetheless. So this is what you're going to need if you want to follow along with this wee recipe. The first thing I'm using is 1 tablespoon of corn flour. Now this is just to thicken up your sauce at the end. I've got 3 cloves of garlic. I've just grated mine, but you can chop yours or mince yours, whatever you want to do, just as long as it's really fine. I've also got 2 teaspoons of rosemary and 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. I've got a 2.5 pound beef brisket there, but feel free to use any beef that you like. We just like brisket. I've got 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I've got 1 onion which I've halved. You could also pop in some halved carrots as well if you like. Sometimes I do that. I'm not doing that today. I'm just keeping it simple. And I've also got 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I'm using the one with, the sort of whole grain one, but you can use the ordinary Dijon if you like. Yep, so let's move on and see what's next. So this is the mustard that I use. We just prefer this one because of the texture of the grains, but you can use the smooth one if you prefer. This goes lovely on a cheese sandwich as well. A cheese and ham sandwich, pop some of this in, it's lovely. And this is the beef that I'm using. I get this from a local butcher, and I think it was around about £15, which is actually pretty good because it's a big hunk of meat. So get your slow cooker on to low. You can see how early it is. You can see my hoover in the background. This was only 8 o'clock in the morning. So the first thing you want to do is start your rub. So into a bowl, pop your olive oil. This is 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Followed by your garlic. I've just used 3 cloves, which I've grated. Then you can pop in your dried herbs. Use fresh if you've got it. I didn't have any fresh, so I've just used dried herbs. And then your Dijon mustard. This is just a teaspoon. And give that a wee mix in together. Ideally, once you put this rub on, you would leave it overnight. That would be brilliant. I didn't do that. I just didn't have the time. And then to that, you want to add about half a teaspoon of salt. Again, that's completely optional. Give that a wee stir in and just push your rub to the side. And you can pop your meat in and just massage your rub well into your meat. And like I said, this is ideal if you can leave this in the fridge overnight. But if not, you can use it straight away, just like I'm doing here. So you want to get your pan on to a medium to high heat. Pop in some olive oil and you just want to sear your meat on all sides. Just give it 3 or 4 minutes on every side. So like I said, I did pop this on yesterday. It went on at, bang on 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was finished cooking at 6 o'clock, last night. And I just also sear on each end as well. Because it's a flat, joint, you can just stand it on its, both ends. Stand it on its end. This is just going to ensure that all your lovely juices and flavours are locked into that meat. So I always warm my crock pot up with water, some boiling water, about half an hour before I'm going to use it. But you don't have to do that, that's just something I do to give it a wee sort of helping hand. The first thing I do is I chop an onion in half and pop that in. That's just to help with the flavour of the gravy. And did you know that onion actually helps to tenderise meat as well? And I just pop my meat in. And then you want to go back to your pan that you just lifted your roast out of and deglaze your pan. So just got all those lovely flavours off the bottom and off the sides of your pan. And then you can pop that directly in with your meat. So we're not losing any flavour here. And all you have to do now is pop your lid on. And like I said, this was 8 o'clock yesterday morning and I left it on for 10 hours and it was so juicy and tender, it was unbelievable. So this was it done. So you want to leave this to rest for about 20 minutes, and if you've got butcher string on it, just remove that after you've let it rest. And like I said, I usually do use an electric knife, or I've got a friend who is a butcher and I get him to run it through his machine. And the juices that are left in your crock pot, you just want to add a wee bit of corn flour and water to that, give it a stir and that'll thicken it up. Or you can strain it through a sieve and return it back to your pan and thicken it up that way, it's entirely up to you. And we just had that with some mashed potato and some roast potatoes and some green beans. I actually put some spring onion through my mashed potato just for a wee change. And it was delicious, so juicy and tender. Well, you would hope so after 10 hours, wouldn't you? If you don't have, you don't have 10 hours and you're in a bit of a hurry, you can whack it onto high for about 6 or 7 hours, but you are going to lose a wee bit of that. You're going to compromise on how tender your meat's going to be. So low and slow is the key. The longer you can leave this, the absolute better. And again, if you can leave your rub on overnight, that's even better again. Like I said, I've been absolutely rushed off my feet for the last week or so, couple of weeks, and I just haven't had the time to leave it overnight. But yeah, if you can do that, that's all to the good. And like I said, the longer you can leave it in your slow cooker on low, the better and more tender your meat is going to be. Absolutely incredible. We loved it, and there were absolutely none left over. This beef done 4 of us. There was a wee tiny bit left over, but Mr. What's for Tea put that in a sandwich later on. Ah dear. So yeah, so that was my wee recipe. So if you fancy giving a wee go, I was going to say the instructions, the ingredients will be listed in the description box down below. So yeah, thank you very much for popping over and checking out what's going on, and hopefully see you back tonight for the wee shopping haul or for Meals of the Week on Sunday. So until I see you next, guys, lots of love and take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Bye now.